even do anything. That's the whole point. Is what can the SEC do? What are their legal rights to even go after these people?
I mean, it seems like for the past year, that's all we've been doing is trying to, get the SecGov to do something, about all this illegal shorting and stuff on, these meme stocks, especially AMC and GME and everything. And it's like nothing's being done. So, I mean, what do we
No,
do at
it's
this
not
point?
like it's not. Nothing is being done.
Yeah.
Nothing is being done. I want to tell everybody right now that nothing is being done to reconcile the synthetic shares in AMC, because we're not getting a dividend, we're not getting a share count. The SEC is putting out more and more regulations every day that don't seem to do anything. So I'm saying now it's time for Adam Aron to stand up and fulfill his fiduciary responsibility to make sure that the stock in the company that he is a board member and the chair of is operating properly. And right now it's not. So I don't know how much longer people want to play this game. Earnings call, don't get me wrong, earnings was amazing. The company fundamentally is rocking, but it doesn't matter for the next 10 years if they keep naked shorting the company and nothing happens. So I'm just curious.
Spence, hi, how are you, everybody?
What's up, man?
Sometimes I think. Do you think he want this to be over? You understand what I mean? The
Oh yeah,
um
I highly doubt he wants it to be over, because right now he's got an endless stream of investors
behind
coming in.
behind his back, I think he's think what happened when this does happen. You understand? So that's another thing that also we have to think as investors, like that he doing the best for us, for him, or for the company. So it's a lot to question, and he doesn't seem like doesn't do anything like for real.
I I think he's doing more or less what's best for the company and the board members. And I'm not saying he's terrible to the AMC shareholders, but that company would not exist today if it wasn't for us. And we're sitting here at down 4% for the day after a bullish earnings call at 1757. So my question to Adam Aron is if you know that retail owns 90% of the float, institutions own 36%, and there's 20% shorted, and that's not even accounting for non-reported short interest, then what are you doing about it? You gave us the news, but what are you doing? Are we just going to sit here for another year and hold a company that's bounces around $17 to $20?
Right. It confirms what we already knew, that, we own 90% or more of the float. But, right, I get what you're saying, Spence. What's being done about it? And the answer is nothing, which is the whole point of this call, right, Spence?
Yeah, sorry, I was pinning my poll to the top.
Okay.
Guys, please vote on the poll up top that I pinned.
And in addition to the 90%, the other thing that is extremely bullish in my mind, and that tells me everything I need to personally know, is that there's still 4 million shareholders. No matter how you put the math together, even at the most conservative metric, it would mean an average shareholding of like 160 shares per person if all you did was add in the legal short shares and subtract BlackRock and Vanguard from the mix because of those shares being index shares. If that's all you do, that only leaves like 126 or 160 shares per person, something ridiculous like that, when every single poll that has been done is shown average ownership more to the tune of 4 digits, not 3 digits.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All the data that's came out, all the polls we've run, all the things Adam Aron has said, the people buying the dip, people were worried, oh, retail only owns 50. Reporting agencies were showing that we only owned like 55%, and Adam Aron comes out and says we own fucking 90. after the polls we ran calculating shares in at 80% retail ownership, there are billions of AMC shares out. And there's proof of that. The SEC is doing nothing. If Adam Aron is doing something in the background,
well, he said
you need to do it now.
I agree, Spence. He did say last night, I'm going through my notes, he said, quote, it was yesterday's earning call. He said, quote, legally, we are unable to make any further commentary on this topic. So what do we do if legally he said in last night's earnings call that legally we can't say anything more on this topic? What do we do if he's not going to say anything else or do anything publicly, on this?
I say everybody needs to tag Adam Aron. Every single person on Twitter needs to tag Adam Aron and say, what are you doing to protect retail investors from the obvious, blatant, naked shorting?
Hey, guys.
What's up, man?
Not much. Hey, yeah, I mean, you nailed it, Jen. He said legally, right? So he's obviously working on something. I don't think they would blatantly come out and say that, make those statements, if he wasn't working on something,
I'm just saying, right, exactly. Was that Jim? Exactly. He did say legally he can't say anything else on this topic, right? For whatever reason. Maybe he was advised by, their attorneys to not talk anymore about this, just whatever.
Yeah, there's no more of that. There's no more of that.
But there's only so much. Like, here's the thing. The shorts can only hold on for so long. The game can only be played for so long.
They can hold forever.
It's patience. And I think everyone's getting so emotionally involved. Chill.
No.
It's all gonna be fine. I mean, yes, put some pressure on it, right, and figure out what's going on, but chill.
It's been well over a year. Nothing has happened. They've had opportunity after opportunity to call out these short sellers. And other CEOs of other companies have publicly done it. It's already been done. I get what you're saying, Jim Bob. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. But the grift is, and this is Trey, this is all the YouTuber guys, this is all the bullshit, is, buy and hodl. And I don't even think half of them even own shares from $60 to $13. And the whole time we're sitting here knowing there's naked shorting, and now we have proof that it's happening, rock solid proof. I'm saying it's time to act. We own 90% of the float. That means the board of directors needs to listen to the shareholders. Something needs to be done, A, before this gets any worse, or B, before the shorts figure out how to get out of their position through some retarded bankruptcy law or something. It's just ridiculous at this point to say, no, let's just keep holding, let's just keep chilling and let Adam Aron do his thing. Some of us have been here well over a year. It's time to do something.
I mean, I've been here since January. I've been here since $13. I mean, it is what it is. I think when we were at $13 to $20 and ran down to $5 and went to 13 to 8, it's going to take its course. It is. It's just win. I mean, we own the flow, right? So there's only so much, and then you got the DOJ investigating. How many firms? 60. I think that might have something to do with it as well.
What happens when the DOJ, the SEC, and all them guys come out and nothing happens, and then we're sitting here still holding AMC? Right now, after that earnings call with those statements, if you're not going to do something now, then it's not going to happen ever. The DOJ and SEC, the SEC is a complete fraud, for one. Nothing will happen with the SEC. The DOJ investigating all these dudes, it's happened in the past during 2008 and 9, and not much happened there either. So what I'm saying is, if the CEO, who's a board member and the chair, has a fiduciary responsibility to protect his shareholders from fraud in the company's stock, then why isn't it happening yet? What has he done to actually protect the shares of AMC?
And that's the thing. You don't. He might be working on something right now, right?
We've been saying that for over 6 months though.
But this is the first time he's actually mentioned it.
Yeah, he's definitely
No,
aware.
he's mentioned it a
aware of
year
the
ago. He
situation.
mentioned it a long time ago when he said 80% is owned by retail.
Well, I think he said last year that he would have to confirm his bias, but you know, this is a patience game, man. I mean, this is a game. You know, you think they're gonna just like fucking, you know, go, okay, we're done here. Like, this is psychological warfare, dude.
We don't have to.
You're not in a play that's easy. Like, it's not easy, man. It's just gonna take time, and it'll
It's
play out.
extremely easy. All he has to do is say, I'm going to consider the STO dividend idea that.
He said that without saying that.
Nah. I bet you before next earnings, we don't hear a word on any type of dividend.
Well, we'll see, man. I mean, I appreciate your guys' calls, and you know, I love this community, and I believe in the cause. Is it frustrating? Sure, yeah, but it'll work out.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you to be negatively disagreeing with you, man. Don't take it wrong. Like I hear what you're saying. I get you. I
just think that, like, you look at any earnings call. There's most of these earnings calls after an earnings, there's been a dip and then a rip. Like, look back at the chart, man. I mean, I would just caution and say, you know, try to be positive today. Try to spread, you know, a good message.
You know, he did say, I want to
being
point
upset
out
and frustrated, being upset and frustrated and all that, it's not doing any good.
Well, it is frustrating, and I totally, you know, feel for everyone getting frustrated. I get frustrated too at times. It's just human, you know.
I'm not upset and frustrated. I'm being realistic.
In the earnings call real quick yesterday when he was talking about cryptocurrencies, he did say that, you know, quote, we've been looking for some time at potentially issuing our own cryptocurrency, but that will depend on how the regulatory frameworks surrounding cryptocurrency unfold. More to come if, as, and when we have something more concrete to share. So, I mean, I don't know. It sounds like, you know, there's a lot of things that aren't being said. So I don't know. It's almost like we have to have a fine
it's all bullshit. All he needs to do is call T0 and say, I want to do an STO for AMC, and it's over. That's it. That's all that needs to happen. I'm staying with the play no matter what, because I've already been here so long. But when you have an opportunity to do what Mark and Tara's, it's a second opportunity to do what Mark and Tara's original idea was, and get it done within a month, and you're not even considering it, I don't know what you're doing.
There's so much FUD around this. Like, there's so much. It's just like, it's not even implemented yet. This, you know, BSTX is not even a thing yet.
T0 is completely operational.
100%, but it's
currently
also
running OSTKO.
Yes, 100%. But you know, there's other factors in play here. You know, liquidity and, you know, making sure that he's got a balance sheet on his books that is going to allow him to thrive. Like, with everything, there's always, everything is never what it seems, ever. So, you know, yes, the SEO is a great idea. Yes, all that. T0, great. But there's one company that's done it, right?
Now there's like five,
sure. I mean, but look at those companies. Have they blossomed? Have they grown to thousands of percent? No.
Yes. Overstock went from $1.50 to $125 in one stretch.
And now it's sitting at sub 60, right?
Yeah.
Like you know,
that's still thousands of percent though.
Yeah, but if you bought it 120, you're down a shit ton. right? Like, you have to look at the perspective.
That's irrelevant to what we're talking about, though. We're talking about the success of a company being saved by T0, not where you got your entry point.
It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant at this point, because there's other things that you or I or everyone else is not aware of. You know,
I'm pretty clearly aware of what's.
Do I agree that a solution needs to be had? Yeah, I do, 100%. But I'm not a go along to get along guy. Like, if I think something's off, I'll say it's off. If it's not, it's not. You know, like. But I'm not saying, to just sit back and do nothing, but at the same time, like, there are other things at play here that you're probably not aware of, and neither am I.
I'm pretty well aware of what's going on. As even I called out 3 months ago that a board member would be leaving the company, and nobody really believed me or said they wanted to talk about going after board members. And now it's actually happened. I'm telling you, man. I've done nothing but eat, drink, and sleep AMC for the last over 12 months. It's all I do.
Likewise.
And I'm telling you right now that Adam Aron coming out and saying the STO dividend was illegal in his tweet without filing an 8K is some horse shit.
Yep. I mean, we'll see how it plays out, man. I would just encourage you guys to stay positive, stay focused. You know, you're in this play because you believe in it. You know, you can always exit. You can always go to if it's too hard, if it's too tough, you can always exit. You know, it's not.
Oh,
this is
no,
not
I'm
supposed to
not
be easy.
exiting.
This is not
I've been
supposed to be
here.
easy.
I've been here since maybe not January like you, Jim. You've been here
100%
longer than me, but I've been here since gosh, my year's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
In a couple months. So, I've just almost as long as you. But, I'm not leaving anytime soon. So I will say, and I think I've been saying to some folks on here that, once after MOS, I'm probably going to move my attendees to blockchain, because I just don't like what's being done here on, in our regular rigged, corrupt market. So I do plan to do that, not anytime soon, probably after MOS. Just want to get my money out of here and put it onto something else, which will be blockchain. So, but that's going to be a while until that happens. But what to do now? I don't know what to do now. I mean, we can keep trying to push the needle, harder. And, I just think that we need to do it, if we're going to do that, just to, try and be positive and do things cautiously.
Yeah. But I mean, you have to also understand there was
Jim, I'm sorry. I accidentally muted everyone. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You have to understand there's more than, I would imagine, probably 50 or 60 stocks that were corrupted and manipulated and shorted to shit in the past 6 months. You look at like Fubo and, even GME, and, they're all targeted, but
right.
none of those stocks are saying anything. They know that stuff is going on as well. So I think there's a bigger picture.
None of those stocks are 90% owned by retail. Have 4 million retail shareholders who haven't sold in a year and seen the price dip by 78%, and showing the fraud right in front of us. Look at OBV. Look at OBV and tell me that there isn't fraud going on. Look at OBV of any other stock that has dipped that percentage. Look at the OBV of Netflix. Look at the OBV of Netflix and tell me that retail isn't holding.
And the Ader CEO and the GME CEO have come out very publicly against this already. So
look at Fubo though. Like, it ran up to 70 or whatever it was, and then now it's sitting at 8, which is pre-run up, right? We haven't touched. If this thing goes below 10, then I would say, yeah, we're in some shitty waters, right? But we're still sitting at $17 above what they started shorting it at.
Spence, can I send you a picture, Spence, right now?
Yeah, do it, man.
All right.
But anyways, guys, I just want to send a positive message here and say, hey, keep your head up.
I get you, man.
Let's spread some positivity and look at the bigger picture.
Tell me
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
you think.
I'm totally bullish on AMC still, but what I'm saying is I'm taking a more aggressive stance. If you guys want to hodl and sit on your hands for another year, please be my guest. Either way, I'm still in the game. So,
but just be careful, like how you word things.
No, I'll do what I'll do it exactly as aggressively and hard as I want.
I know that. I mean, do you, of course, but just
And Jim Bob,
try to send a positive message. That's all I'm saying.
Jim Bob, I took a look at the Fubo OBV, and it looks totally different than the OBV of.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Yeah, and
Life. That's what I got too, man.
What that shows is that people are selling, and that the people that own the stock are selling it. Therefore, it's going down. The difference being AMC, the OBV is relatively speaking flat, which means that people.
We lose these swing.
Yeah. I mean, of course. Yeah, but if they exactly. So if you look at the OBV, that shows we haven't sold, right? If they could have pushed this down under $10, they would have done it already. You know. But they can't.
I don't disagree with you there. However, with Fubo, part of the reason why that stock has acted the way it has, looking at its history, is historically speaking, they've way more than any sort of dilution story at AMC have diluted that stock. It's gone
100%.
So it's a totally different play. So you're comparing not even apples and oranges, you're comparing apples and broccoli here.
Yeah, and that's why we're sitting at 17 and not 7.
So then again, I go back to show me another stock that has 4 million retail shareholders holding strong, not selling, and showing the price action that we've seen. Yes, there are lots of stocks that have dipped massively, Netflix, Facebook, etc. But that's because they've been sold.
They sold.
Yeah. Large institutions sold. And to be honest, I think that large institutions probably sold because they were the wrong side of a few plays that we're talking about, including AMC and GME.
Yep.
But
you're right. There is a negative divergence. And what happens with negative divergence?
Yes, eventually, but something needs to spark it. And to Spence's point, all that Adam even has to say is, I'm looking into the feasibility, and the prime brokers and the people involved in the crimes, because it's not even necessarily the short hedge funds, it's the prime brokers that keep on issuing the shares. The prime brokers are essentially they're the central banks in this play. They're the ones that are able to issue shares to people. They know how many shares they've lent out without having them, as well as our brokerage houses know how many shares that we actually own that they've sold us that they don't have actually in their books. To be honest, I think the smartest play is for us to go back to the discussion of talking about direct registration and seeing and taking a look and looking at that and seeing what's going on there. Because if we pull their shares from the DTCC, they can't be continuous.
When Adam Aron tweeted needlessly and recklessly that the STO dividend idea was likely illegal, we dropped over 40% within a 3-month period.
But so did everybody else, man.
Nah, not like we did. That happened later after the market woes hit and the bad inflation talks and all kinds of stuff. This hit specifically on when Adam Aron tweeted, and we were in a downward spiral ever since. And it wasn't even like an official company statement. Right now, knowing that retail owns 90%, if he came out and did what a lot of us want, I would bet close to 70% and say, we're looking at a digital dividend to give to our shareholders on a one-to-one basis and a non-cash equivalent, shorts would panic their freaking shit off, man. It's not even a theoretical thing anymore. It's just wow. Let's get to Paul. He's had his hand up for a hot minute.
I agree.
Okay, yes. Yeah, now I'm going to drop down, but I'll stick around for a minute.
Thanks, Jim Bob.
Yeah, thanks, Jim Bob. I appreciate your input.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
also put up top Mark Cahote's court case against Goldman Sachs from back in the day, and they were the ones, the prime broker, doing the naked shorting and fucked them over. So that was supposed to have been taken care of, but we all know that still goes on, and it's quite illegal. I believe it is. So, anyways, the reason why I put my hand up is, first of all, I'm still stoked about the company outside the short thesis because of what they came out in their earnings call yesterday and talked about going forward. Outside the short thesis, it's a great thing. The company's on the right move and it's heading up. Now, to the short thesis that we all believe it is, there are companies out there that have come forward publicly saying that they believe their company has been naked shorted, it's being manipulated, and those CEOs gladly came out and said such a thing. So I can't see it being a problem for CEO Adam to do the same.
And he's gotten more bullish in his statements this past week, calling out shorts. So yes, to Jim Bob's point, is there something happening in the background? I think so. But
yes,
how long have we sat here and got a big nothing burger from the CEO? I like Adam Aron, don't get me wrong. They're doing phenomenal with the fundamentals of the company. You can't argue that. But the opportunity to do what he needs to do is right in front of him.
absolutely.
And he still hasn't retracted his tweet back from when he said the STO dividend was a likely illegal thing. It's not.
I know, Spence. I know, and I'm not defending him at whatsoever. And I know he's caught on to this, let's be cryptic in our tweets, which he stole from Ryan Cohen, in my opinion. And he's still living on the ape. We all love you, Adam. But and no one here, and this is my personal opinion, but I'm pretty sure no one here, and if you're listening, is advocating for you to sell. You do that if you want to. No one here is selling. I'm holding. I don't own the amount of shares I hold. Yeah, I don't care if it's sitting red or not. It's not hurting me financial just to sit there and look at them sitting in red. It makes no difference. It hurts the hedge funds. It doesn't hurt me at all. I never got into any plays that I could not afford to lose it all. And that is just standard financial advice. I mean, if you got into the play because, yeah, you thought it was a for sure, and whoever you were following told you it was a for sure, but it always ends it with, but it's not financial advice. Well, honestly, that's on you. You didn't do your homework. You thought it was a for sure thing. Nothing is in this world. I believe it is, and it's coming, and there's things that are happening that will force it to happen. But if you can't afford to have that sitting there and you got to pay your bills and eat, by all means, man, sell what you need to so you can live. No one's going to think
That goes
bad
without
of you.
and I agree. And I'm like you, I'm in the red too, and I'm a bag holder, and I don't care. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect anything. The money I put into AMC is money that money I can afford to gain or lose. I mean, so it's funny when they call us bag holders. I feel like I'm a proud bag holder. That's right. I mean, but it's up, again, when a person decides to sell, that's up to them. I would never tell anyone here to sell the shares or buy at a certain time. I mean, just do your own DD and do what's best for you. And of course, if you need to sell to make a mortgage payment or something, obviously that goes without saying. I mean, then that's what you got to do. The money that I have in the stock market, that's investing money. That's money that's for investing, and I'm not planning to take that money out soon. Although, however, I would like to move that money over to blockchain eventually when that becomes available.
For sure. So just in ending what I wanted to say on this, okay? And I think I just forgot what I wanted to say
I'm
on
sorry.
this. No, it's not you. I just had it and then it's gone. It
That happens to me a lot
so
too.
okay, listen, folks. You know, this is normal. This usually always happens after an earning call, and we're not seeing a lot of movement in the stock, and we all get upset, and very good reason for it. But nothing is stopping, and enjoy what the revenue generation the company's doing, the direction that the company is going. But nothing in this world should stop you as a shareholder, as an owner of the company, to let your company CEO know how you feel. And if you feel that it's not going in the direction, even if it is the short thesis, you call them out on it. You tell them, we know it is. I suspect you know it is. You need to speak up. You need to say something about it. And if the pressure is put towards him in that fashion or around those things, then he may retweet or recall his tweet or say something else. Because, yeah, I don't know about you guys. I mean, you young guys understand the cryptic language people say. I don't. I like straightforward talk myself. And that's it. Nothing's stopping you from letting CEO Adam or anyone else on the board of directors. That doesn't stop you from going to Investor Connect, putting in your emails to them, explaining what you feel respectfully, that they need to come out and say something. And that's really all I have to say on it.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, my take on it is that he has a fiduciary responsibility to make sure that the stock is operating within legal limits of all regulatory agencies. And I know he's probably limited on what he can say, but I'll tell you right now, Overstock CEO did what he had to do. The Aiders CEO did what he had to do. And don't get me wrong, like Paul said, enjoy the day, enjoy the earnings, enjoy all the positive bullish news. I think the company fundamentally is doing amazing. But the shorts are still sitting there laughing their asses off because they know that they can get away with anything they want to freaking do. As a 4 million person community, if we're not all actively going after the SEC and pushing Adam Aron to blow this out of the water, then we're just doing the same thing we did 6 months ago, listening to YouTubers going, buy and hold, ate a cat tree, and all that bullshit. It's like way beyond this now. We are
Let me add this. If you're not doing that, Spence, then the word bag holder really is true. I don't care if I'm negative and people want to call me a bag holder. I do let CEO Adam know what I think, and that's fine.
Yeah, I'm saying now is time. The iron's hot, you guys. We just had an amazing earnings call with the CEO coming out and vocally saying that we own 90% of the float, which is proof that there's synthetic shorts out there. It's proof. You can do the math very simply. So on that, we'll go back to hands now. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. No, it's all right. Everyone, I think, is very emotional after a really awesome earnings call.
I'm not emotional at all. I'm just tired of not doing the logical thing because some people in the community want to come out and go, don't talk bad about any of the board members of AMC. At what point in time have they ever changed your diaper or gave you dinner? What I'm saying is the board members of AMC need to do what the shareholders request them to do, which so far fundamentally they're doing, but the stock is fraudulent right now. The AMC stock is 100% frauded right now. We all know it. There's proof. And nothing is happening to fix that.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say really quickly, there's some wording that needs to be fixed. We don't own 90% of the float. He said we own over 90%. So I just
Thank
thought,
you.
yeah, I'm pretty sure we own like 100%, if not more.
Absolutely.
Synthetics. It's just the wording is really. Everybody's stuck on that 90% number, and it's he said over 90. So
He did say that. In fact, I was before Spencer started this call, I was listening to the earnings call over again, to go over my notes to make sure I took accurate notes. But he did say that over 90%.
Yeah, so we're in a really good place. It doesn't matter if the hedgies dragged us on for a year or two or three even. We're right, and it will pop. So just live your life normally like you did before AMC, and just know that one day in the future you are going to be wealthy. Anyway, have a good one.
It's a very good point. If you get into just doing some simple calculations on short interest, institutional ownership, retail ownership, who knows how long we've owned the company for, the shares. At this point in time, all the index funds, where are they getting their shares from? It's synthetics on borrowed, on loaned, on repurchased, on borrowing and not shorting and giving them back. There's so many freaking synthetic shares out there right now. At first, the Redditors, the 7 billion shares, I was like, I don't think it's that many. Started doing my research, 1.5 to 2 billion. At this point, it's probably well over that, because when you start really looking at the data, the volume traded and the dark pool data, it's just insane at this point. The fact that we're still sitting here discussing it means that the market is completely fraudulent. Like there's nothing legitimate about the U.S. stock market. It blows my mind.
I agree. It's actually it's really sad. So and that's why I've been saying that as soon as I can, I'd like to move my AMC shares on a blockchain. So because I'm tired of it. I'm really tired, like you, Spence, and everyone else here, of this rigged market and nothing being done about it.
All right, I'll sing Kumbaya for a minute.
Then you know what? Then maybe I should move my shares onto blockchain. When it's listed on BSTX or something. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully we mow us before that. But,
I'll sing Kumbaya for a minute. Okay, earnings was amazing. You guys, I hosted the call yesterday and I was going bananas. I loved it. I'm still pumped about earnings, and I'm still pumped about holding stock and the movies that are coming out in 2022. What I'm irritated about is the fact that the CEO comes out during an earnings call and says what he says, but doesn't follow it up with, we are going to start investigating the issues with the AMC shares. You can say stuff like that, and it's totally legal for a chairman and a board member and a CEO of a company to say, there's obviously some fundamentally flawed practices going on with the AMC stock and the stock market. I mean, there's nothing that he can't say on that topic that's illegal. So I'm curious to what he's actually doing, and I think it's time for the retail shareholders to know, because we are the company.
I agree with that. And oddly enough, I did call the SEC this morning, and I also got an email, because I've been trying to bug them about setting them data, and I actually did get a personal email back using my full name and specific things I brought up, and to submit them. And they said to contact Education Advocacy, but Ginsler's office is open. Since I called them, and when the lady answered, I said, I just wanted to see if you guys were working today, because the CEO just said that retail owns a float, except we keep getting, dumped like yesterday's garbage.
What do they say then?
She just says, we are open. Please contact, investor advocacy. But I mean, I agree with Spence. I mean, Aaron should be coming out and say, a little harder and saying, look, there is something going on. We can't say, we're not going to commit to anything that is going on, but we're going to let you guys know, as the owners of the company, that we're going to look into it to protect the company.
Yeah, that would have been, I think it would have been nice if AA would have said something, like that. But he did not. So, yeah, so we continue all here to be frustrated.
It's like Swing said earlier, if there's no trigger, then your gun's never going to fire, man. Like, it literally, this is the opportunity. Again, I believe this is the second hot opportunity for Adam Aron to come out, rethink and reinvestigate the dividend idea that could definitely happen, and it's completely legal, and really make some change in the market and blow these dudes out of the water. And he doesn't even have to say that it's to expose naked shorts. He can just say, I feel like enough of the 90% or 100% of the retail investment community that owns AMC stock is wanting us to take this path, so we were going to start investigating it and try to implement it. That's all he's got to say. Go ahead, Sugar.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Hey, Shug.
Good, man. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the Batman movie. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, Leo, one of the guys who live in here, Columbus. I'm gonna try to see if when we both can go and see a movie too. But yeah, well, I really heard good things about Batman, man, and the call was good too. But to come to your topic for why you are having this space call, I think like it's up to like somebody say you can hold for 2-3 years. I mean, some people can hold for 2-3 years, but I don't know, just because you can hold for 2-3 years, everybody can hold on to 2-3 years for the shares without getting anything done. And if it can help, help to get rid of manipulation and all this, why not? I mean, give it a try. Now if it doesn't work, that's a different story. But there's a narrative that's already been painted, before it even started, about this. And people, you know still trying to run with the narrative. And some people are coming with the new things, all that, like this, like some of the YouTubers, oh no, we don't have this many, this is what we have. But I think an average Joe like me, I am down a lot of money, but can I hold for another year? Yes, I can. But can everybody hold to another year? No. You don't know what other people are going through, how much they're hurting, and how long they can hold and not hold. You can hold, that's very good, for 3 years, 2 years, whatever long. But if we can do something, some kind of effort to get rid of the manipulation and do something, that can help our stock. I mean, the call was really good. The earnings, we had one of the best earnings, and I think it's only gonna get better. But if these people can do this thing with this manipulation for the last 8 months, and if they want to do it for another few, they
Hey, real quick, I just want to let everyone know if you're just coming in, if you could tweet out the call so we can get some more apes in here. Go ahead, Shug. Keep
yeah, and Sugar, you're saying that so much better than I'm saying it, because I'm taking the gloves off. I'm ready to go to war. But you're saying it much more positively and professionally than I am. So I appreciate that.
No, you're not.
Hey, Sugar. I just want to add to that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there is lots of psychological information out there about buying, holding, selling, what happens with people, the average person like me, when they see red and when they see green. So just real typical. It usually goes like this. People who see green never sell. People who see red sell. And I'll guarantee you, market makers know that. Hedge funds know that. And so if they can drive it down so you look like you're in the red, psychologically you'll say, okay, I've had enough, I'm getting out. And that's even Warren Buffett will tell you don't do it then.
Yep.
But it's a psychological thing. I mean, trust me, I went through this too when I was first investing, and I thought, fuck it, man. The company's doing lousy. My mind went red because I held too long, I guess, but I didn't get the gains I was looking for. And so I got out, and I was doing that for quite a while. And then I started realizing, well, fuck, I'm paying these fuckers. Like, if I would just hang out in the stock, it wasn't like I needed the money.
And
I wanted the action. So just be aware that when you're seeing red,
yep.
there's a psychological thing to that. And
Yeah,
market makers know that. Okay,
Paul,
I'll stop.
I'll add that Citadel, Ken Griffin has even stated that their algorithms work on human behavior. He said this in an interview.
exactly.
So that's exactly what it is.
And
It is all algorithm.
Paul, that's my whole thing is like, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know how long people can hold. You don't know how tired people are. If some kind of effort can help folks, I mean, there is no harm in trying it, right? But don't, like, you don't know, like, I can afford to sit in $70,000 still in red, and still not worry, because I'm working, and but not everybody is in the same position. So if we can help somehow, if folks can be helped somehow and not have to sit 2 or 3 years, that'll be good, because it's very easy to say, we will hold for 2-3 years. Not everybody is capable of doing that. So you can speak it for,
Exactly.
you can speak
Exactly.
for yourself.
Exactly, Sugar.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you're speaking correctly. I mean, what you say is correctly. So let's look at the meme play, because that's what we're here, right? Short thesis. For me, this started way back when with Roaring Kitty, and you'll see people tweeting, "Well, he held over 2 years before the big payout for him when it hit." Well, how long have you been in it? Like, I'm talking to everyone. How long have you actually been in it? And you have to make those decisions. Those are personal decisions. For me personally, yeah, I've had my moments when Adam Aron said certain things and I was pissed off and I was ready to just get the fuck out of the stock, but I didn't, because I chose to take a day and walk away to have my emotions in check, because you don't trade when you're emotional. But with what's going on with CEO Adam and this stock, we all know it's fucking manipulated, and you should feel no problems telling him how you feel respectfully, and let him know. He does know, but the more people, I call it harping, the more people harp on it, and you see it in his tweets, because those are from people constantly hitting him up, hitting him up, hitting him up. It's bound to happen. He has to eventually say something, in my opinion.
But we need to consolidate the message is the problem, because you can never stop giving Adam Aron ideas for the company fundamentals, because that's why it's doing good right now. But if we don't consolidate around the fact that we own 90 to 100% of the float and say, you need to fix this, then he's going to keep doing what he's doing with the company, and we might be into another 2 years. Anyway, let's grab these hands. I've been waiting for a minute. Let's go to Michael, Jason, and then Vernon. You there, Michael?
All right, we'll move on to Jason then.
Yeah, we can go back later.
Yeah.
Hi guys. Good to see you all
guys,
again.
I was here.
Oh
yeah, go ahead, Michael.
I'm sorry. Let me know if it's loud, because I'm in the gym. So can everybody hear me?
Yeah, you go for it, man.
Okay, go Michael, and then after Michael, Jason, and then yeah.
I have a few questions. One question is, when we talked about T0, and it's probably more for Mark, so I hope he's listening. But has Adam Aron been in contact with anybody that's using T-Row, say like at Overstock or any other companies, to see what their experience is? That's one question. And two, based on Adam Aron's tweet, wouldn't that mean, if it were illegal, and I put it in quotations, Mark, wouldn't T0 and other companies be doing something illegal? Wouldn't he feel comfortable to the fact that companies have actually made the switch to T0? And, is there some kind of way to where whether Mark or whomever could put Adam Aron in contact with the people to say, hey, this is what's working for us. This is our experience with it. Basically, those are my only two questions. I thank y'all for bringing me up, but I'll drop down from here.
That was perfect, man. Like, you couldn't have said that any better. I couldn't have said it better. As far as I know, and I can only say what I know, is Adam Aron hasn't contacted anybody from those companies. He might have done it behind closed doors, but your statements and your questions were 100% right on. And it's like with, and respectfully to Jim Bob, he came up and said there's a lot of FUD around that, and it's probably illegal, and there's no companies doing it. Well, there's several companies on T0 that are doing exactly what you just talked about, and one of them was Overstock, which Overstock was the original naked shorted company. Patrick Byrne was the first one to call this shit out back in 2016. It's the entire reason T0 exists. Now, I hate it that I got to say that people keep getting their freaking information from David and Goliath and Marine. Those dudes are frauds, complete frauds. Everything they've said about Mark and T0 is 100% wrong. All you have to do is a little bit of DD. Go to T0.com and look at the companies that are listed on there doing STOs that are thriving right now. So, man, very good points, Mike. Thanks for coming up, dude. Jason, go ahead, brother.
Hey, so I just wanted to, I don't know, maybe make a few comments, maybe take a different angle on approach on the conversation. So, we know, as we all know, we've seen Aaron Adams leading up to the earnings call, dropping quite a few tweets, and he came out of the woodworks. He left for a little while, he came back, which is great. And he's dropping all these good tweets. I mean, just one after another leading up to the earnings call. Then we have this kick-ass earnings call, got us all pumped. He waits till the end of the call to, in my opinion, send a message to, and again, this goes back to conversations we've had here before, where he may be under some sort of gag order, whatever the case may be, limited information he can give because of ongoing investigations and such. So, but he did say loud and clear to institutional investors and us retail investors, hey, we know what's going on. Here's what we can see. And he kind of said what I think as much as he can say. Now, on the other side of that, let's look at this from a business standpoint as far as Aaron Adam and the board goes, and AMC is a business and everything else. Do we really know if he is, and what happens when this squeeze happens? Where does AMC go with this? So from a business standpoint, I almost kind of think sometimes that they want to drag this on and ride this train as long as they can. I don't want to speak poorly about our CEO like that, because he's awesome and all that. He's trying to relate with retail just like RC is. On the GME side of things, but that's where my take is, because when this squeeze happens, this is I've said this before. This is game over. This is end game. This is the market's going to crash. A lot of crap's going to happen. Transfer of wealth's going to happen. But what's going to happen to AMC? Right now they're talking all this growth and we're moving in the right direction, and we got a crap ton of money, 1.8 billion in cash reserves. Do they want to see that all go bye-bye? And another point I wanted to make on the dividend side of things, and I'm not sure, you guys are much smarter than me on this, can they even entertain issuing a dividend at this point, given the debt that they still have? And if they can, would they want to consume that $1.8 billion on a shit ton of shares that we know that we own? I mean, even if it was a penny dividend, how much money is that? So anyways, there's just some comments, food for thought, maybe get some feedback from y'all. Thanks.
Yeah, the key to that is they don't have to issue a dividend actually, you don't want to issue a dividend that has monetary value. You want to do a non-cash digital content dividend, or like you said, an STO. It's not going to cost them much at all to do it. You don't have to issue a dividend at a penny. The trick is you want to have a dividend that you can claim the DTCC cannot deliver properly for the squeeze play. But the truth is, at this point in time, it's just about finding out how many shares are out there. You can go to the SEC and go, dude, we're 100% retail owned and there's 36% institutional ownership. We need to have a share count, a reconciled share count. That shouldn't even be a question right now. And the SEC and regulators shouldn't even be looking to do anything to AMC at this point. They're the victim here. So it's just pretty wild. And I agree with everything you said, man. I like what you just said. So,
Jason, I just want to, you also mentioned about the squeeze and the shares and what happens with that. Are you concerned that the company would have to cover the share price if it went to a squeeze situation? Or are you concerned there, well, is that generally what you're saying? I just want to clarify that.
I'm just concerned because we all know how this is going to affect the economy as a whole, and we know that they're in the background right now trying to figure this mess out. They're trying to unwind this shit uh, to hit the economy as left as soft as they possibly can, if that's
Oh,
actually even
absolutely.
possible. So I mean, what happens to our company after this squeeze? What happens, because of
Well,
course the economy is going to go to crap over
I'll
this.
give you my opinion on it, okay? And
Sure.
that's
Yep.
all it is, all right? So let's play the hypothetical. It squeezes at 2 p.m. today. It starts. And the squeeze occurs over the rest of the week, roughly. Some of the DD has said that. It might even go longer. So those shares are being bought back by those who have lent them out, um, hedge funds and Citadel. So they have to buy them back and do the return to the broker. But if there's all kinds of synthetic shares are being bought back, those are sitting on Citadel's thing. But once it hits a certain point, they're gone bankrupt. Obviously, if they're using a clearinghouse, they cover it. And if it go once that is insufficient, it goes to the DTCC and ultimately the Fed. Okay, they'll print money. But we just holding a stock, and I don't care what meme stock, I don't care if you're holding stock in Warren Buffett's stuff. We didn't create this mess, they did. So what happens to the company afterwards? And say, just for instance, the DTCC actually holds real shares because of whatever reason, the prime brokers went broke. Well, in a way, the DTC, we can kind of consider them a federal government entity in a way. We know it's private, but they're not going to hold those shares and they'll return those back to market to be sold. And they're always, it'll settle out to be a buy and a sell order that will be matched. It will go back after the squeeze play is done and it's over and done and the markets are fucked and the federal they'd start printing money, they get the market back, everybody starts spending again on their credit cards or whatever to get the economy back, because generally that's what will happen. The stock will finally settle out at its ideal share price, what people think it's worth. It'll be based upon their fundamentals. This is what Adam Aron's doing from that point of view, from a company on its fundamentals by introducing popcorn um, in grocery stores. And everything he talked about is based upon the fundamentals of the company as if there was no short squeeze going to happen. But even if it does happen, nothing happens to the company. It's not going to go bankrupt. No, they don't cover any of the shares for that because they're not responsible for any of that. That's the market structure, how it works. And so nothing happens to the company. Once it's all said and done, it just settles out to whatever it's supposed to be at. And that's my 2 cents on that.
I totally agree with you, Paul, on what you said there, and I'm aware, the huge $1 trillion insurance will get sucked dry, and awesome on that side. I was just thinking more from an ape perspective, retail perspective, that a lot of us are in this play for the company and or other reasons, fix the market, so on and so forth. But let's face it, a lot of apes are here for just the squeeze, and they're going to bounce once this squeeze is over, which is going to possibly bring down retail investors from maybe 4 million to 2 million or 1 million. Or, I don't know if that would affect, or it would just bring new investors in. Like you said, once it drops down to the $50 value of what
Sure,
this
sure.
stock should really be.
Right, sure. No, that's a fair question, and that is true what you said. There's a whole bunch of people on Twitter and Reddit said it. I'll always stay in and always be with the company. Well, grain of salt, right? you know, I can foresee, sure, some people keep some shares aside. I will too, as a token, we'll say, and I'll sell everything else I got. But I do love the company. I love movies. I love that they hire students for their first job that creates, you know, I don't know the correct term, but quality human beings going forward, productive people it going forward, pay for their education or whatever you want to look at it. And chances are I will be going back in and hold a percentage of my portfolio will be back in AMC because not only was I'm here for their short squeeze, but I love the company, man. And I will go back in myself. That there's no doubt in my mind. If other people leave and it's done, they did their play, and you know, I'm never going back in this fucked up market, which is the stupidest thing to say, in my opinion. Um, they don't have to go back in AMC, but there will be a whole bunch of other people that are going to buy those shares anyways. It doesn't mean they were in part of the squeeze or not. And so I wouldn't worry about that. There will always be buyers for the shares.
Yeah, I think a lot of shareholders are going to come back. And I think on the way down, you're going to see a massive amount of trading on the way up and down from the market on AMC. And then I firmly believe AMC will come back in and stabilize around $50 due to their new revenue stream. So, very good point, Paul. Vernon, you were next. What's up, man?
Hey, Spence. Thanks for bringing me up. I just want to say I kind of have a gut feeling that Adam Aron probably cares a lot about his legacy. And like, I don't think he wants to go down as the Patrick Byrne. You know, I think he wants to beat the shorts by just doing his job. I don't think he wants to go against, you know, it's just a suspicion that
I feel you.
that's
I
kind of
feel
his
you on that
approach.
one.
I'm not saying that that's right. Like, I'd like him to be more aggressive. I'd like the STO, but that I worry too what Jason's saying, that he may not want the MOS. He may want I'm sure he wants the stock to go up, but does he want it to go up to 10,000 and everyone sells? I don't know. So anyway, I just want to bring that up. I don't know if that's something, you know, if he is legitimately concerned about that, but I do think, you know, these guys probably care about their legacy. And he probably wants to go down in history as someone that beat the shorts by running a great business.
I totally agree with you, man. I think that's right on where Adam Aron wants to win the game playing by the rules, even though they're cheating. I feel you on that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Vernon, on a lot of your points, but
I do too.
he doesn't care if the stock hits 10,000. Like, we're talking squeeze play here. He don't care if it's a 10,000, 100,000, and it goes in the squeeze play, drops to $10 and runs back up to 1,000. And the CEOs don't care about that in a way. They care about the share price and where it's going in normal times. But with the squeeze play and that, he has no concern about that part of the share price. That's us. That's us,
Right.
what we're doing.
Well, if it goes to 10,000, he'll be remembered in all time as just the CEO that was part of the squeeze pay that went to 10,000, right?
Right.
I mean, I think
absolutely.
I think that
on.
might concern him. I mean, no one knows but him, but like, that might concern him, that if he makes this happen, that's what he'll be remembered for, not being a great CEO, but being the, you know, like Patrick Byrne that went after the, that's what Patrick Byrne's remembered for, at least for now. Maybe after everyone gets burned, he'll be remembered for being the aggressive CEO that went after him. But for now, he seems to be remembered as the guy that, you know, just fought the hedge funds above what he actually did for Overstock.
Well, he's also known for turning companies around, right? That is part of his legacy, turning companies around, trying to get them through. Right, Adam Aron, try to get through the hard times. He's known for that now, and he'll be known for that in the future. This will just be added to his resume that he was part of one of the greatest financial and wealth transfer in history. And he'll be known as a great CEO because he embraced retail investors. That's what he's going to be known for.
Y'all think CEO Adam is, you know, he's going to be remembered as the guy who saved his company.
That's what I think. But I think, like in that interview with Melissa Lee, he said, we saved the company first and then retail came in. Like, I think he wants management he wants them to have the, you know, the prime recognition. That's just what I'm taking from it. He wants to save the company, and he wants them to be the ones that did it. And so I just worry that he doesn't actually want to cause the MOAS. I think it'll still happen eventually, but I'm not really counting on him to cause it.
I think the truth of all of it is they know this thing's gonna MOAS, and they went in with the DOJ and SEC, figured out what was really going on after the January 28th buy button fiasco, where the Fed and the SEC told all these hedges that are naked shorting, okay, go ahead, we'll take the buy button away, clean up your positions, and they didn't. They doubled down. Then they had to go in to Adam Aron and these other companies and say, we got a massive problem on our hands. It's going to crash the economy. It's going to put Citadel, Melvin, and all these clowns out of business. Will you work with us to help us unwind this? And that's why I think Adam Aron is only given little tidbits of challenges to the shorters, because in reality everyone and their fucking grandma at this point knows that there's billions of naked shorts out there in this company. So I firmly believe Adam Aron is probably more than likely working with the SEC and DOJ, trying to help them slowly unwind this, especially while we have midterms coming up at the end of the year, because it's all the money traces back to political influence. So I think he's thinking in his head, he's going to play this out the right way, play by the rules, work with the SEC and DOJ. But in reality, we all know what happens when you work with the SEC and you work to try to help. They're not trying to save the economy. They're trying to save their hedge funds. They're trying to save Citadel and BlackRock and all these guys. So it's just, I stand by that theory that I think they're slowly working with them. And I think it's part of why Stephen Colanero is on his way out the door. That dude is a facilitator of destroying companies. He did it to Radio Shack and Blockbuster. So we'll see what happens. But I'm saying now's the time to strike. We have all the ammo. The iron's hot. We're entrenched. We're dug in. We have the position that we want to make this thing happen. And all it's going to take is Adam Aron going, okay, I've heard from retail shareholders. I'm going to look into the STO dividend idea and see what we come up with. That's all he's got to say.
Do you think maybe an idea from STO or something? I mean, because he was talking about, creating AMC's own cryptocurrency.
Well, my theory on that is if they're doing it, that's what the Ion AMC NFT is for, as a delivery vehicle for issuing a one-to-one cryptocurrency to AMC shareholders. But the real problem that everybody knows that we've been faced with is Investor Connect is open to everybody and anybody. And now the Ion AMC NFTs are just out there floating around for sale, which they're still cool. They're still going to drop digital content, which is going to be a really good thing. And they are getting a royalty off of it, but they'll never get enough of a royalty off of that NFT unless they drop real meaningful content that you can use for value. So, Swing, what's up, man? Schwinger.
Hey, yeah. What I wanted to share was that I think there's kind of some FUD around the whole Adam Aron after the squeeze. Could he not want the squeeze? All of that kind of stuff. Because the reality is, his 4 million shareholders will support AMC financially more than they ever have if this thing goes off. I have enough shares that if it went to anything above three digits, that I'll have enough money to to buy a lifetime supply of popcorn for a lot of people. Let's put it that way. So, and I think there's a lot of us out there that, the data, like we said, we'll think about it. If the data is true, where the average shareholder does have 4-figure shares, like even if it's just 1,000 shares at $100, that's $1 million in stock. $1 million, and that's just at 1,000. If it's anything more than that, then the average person has even more. So, so far as the whole thing about what's going to happen afterwards, I mean, I'd be able to buy back, a million shares, you know, after it squeezes, if it goes anything higher than that. So anyway, I think that's just kind of funny to not think about. I think the bigger issue is the SEC, FINRA, etc. is facing the fact that people are way under their they cannot let the overall markets know how messed up the system is. We all know, but the average investor might not, and they cannot let that happen.
Yeah. Well, what's the difference if it squeezes off the back of a STO dividend announcement or it squeezes because everything just breaks down? It's going to fuck everything up regardless. So, like you said, the idea that, oh, we're worried about the company going back to $5 after the squeeze, it's not going to go back to $5 after the squeeze. I've got 100 shares DRS that I'm never going to sell. I'm not even going to attempt to do it. I'm just going to leave them there. I'm going to be an AMC holder for the rest of my life. And when the company comes back down into realistic valuation ranges that I'm predicting for myself, I'm going to buy back in with some of that money just to continuously be an AMC holder. And I think you're going to see, I think AMC is set up now to be 100% retail owned for the next 100 freaking years. I think people are going to buy shares, DRS them, put them in trust, and just keep them for their family for forever. So I think either way, no matter what you're doing, if you're here for the squeeze play, whether it triggered by a dividend or some other factor, or just because the market fell apart, it doesn't really matter. Sugar, you're the only one with your hand up, man.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Yes, sir. I was just waiting for you to finish. You know, I don't want to.
Go for it, brother.
But, I just, you know, for me, it's not about, you know, just, for me, it's more about the folks, the people, you know, those who are, you know, been here for a year or 1.5 years. You know, I want those folks to get paid. I want those folks, those who have their dreams and everything, those who are hurting, but they're still here, you know, because they believe in each other. They believe in the community. They believe in us. I want all those folks to get paid. And I want them to see, you know, like, you know, they did a good thing holding with all of us. My concern is we don't know what people are going through every day. You know, for some people, it's a struggle every day to go through this. So if it goes through like 2 or 3 years, I don't want that to go to 2-3 years. I want, you know, to go tomorrow up. But, you know, if something can help it, like, you know, go up or squeeze or MOAS or whatever we want to call it, and people get paid, and, you know, folks, it can better their lives. That's all I want. Now, it can be anything. If STO can help it, why not try it, you know? Or if you just want to wait for 6 months or a year or 2 years, that's everybody's, you know, up to them. But not everybody can, you know, because a lot of people, when they came in this play, a lot of people were, you know, like, oh, it's gonna squeeze, it's gonna MOAS and all that stuff, you know. And, you know, when the stock go to 72, people didn't sell, you know, they waited it because to the squeeze, oh, this is not a squeeze, you know, this is not a MOAS. They kept saying. And then, you know, over the past 8 months, the same people slowly and slowly, they shifted their narrative. They started being quiet. And, you know, no, I don't know. There is more to life than just views and followers and making money out of the back of the people when you don't know how much those people are hurting. And if there is something that can help that people, I am always for that. So, you know, it's not about just AMC CEO, AMC board. It's about the community, whether it's the board, whether it's the CEO, everyone. But I want those folks to get paid too, man. You
Well,
know,
here's an idea, Sugar, too. The longer they put this off, the deeper the hole they're digging, which is going to cause even more of an economic collapse, hurting people all over the world. They need to clean this shit up now to protect the financial system.
Yep. And that's, you know, that's the thing. I mean, if can they do this for 2 years? I hope not. Because if they can do it for 2 years, they can do it for 4 years too. So that's the thing. If we can somehow, you know, some way we can when we know 90% of the float is owned by us, more than 90%, whatever, if we can do something to find it out and help the folks out, I'm always for that, man. It's about people, those who saved the company to begin with. If the company would not be here, there'll be no shareholders, no CEO, nobody. So, my thing is, I care about people more than, anything else. So for me,
Yep.
I want those folks to get paid.
None of us would be here talking right now if we
that's
wouldn't have saved the company.
Yep. Yep. While, I mean, but shareholders get their shares, Adam will get his shares, YouTubers will make their views, but the ordinary people were, those who believe in this company, those who made everyone, they are still here. Let's think about them first, then about whether it's the legacy of one person or, for me, if I be CEO, my legacy is not more important than the 4 million families, that 29,000 families, those who are, those who depend on AMC. And yes, I will, if it squeezes, I will put at least quarter of my money in AMC, because there are 29,000 families depend on that. And that's, they are part of our family. And,
Absolutely, man.
And that's what I want. I want an average Joe, an average human being who's struggling, who's working hard to get paid, not just few people. That's all.
And I want to see what everybody does with their money afterwards. I'm lucky enough, I have everything I need. So if I make the money, great, I'll do some stuff, but I'm basically going to be running around doing a ton of charities and helping people out. I'm excited to see what the Ape Nation does with its money, because I think 4 million AMC holders are about to completely change the world for the better.
Yep. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Polly. Or Jen, did you want to say
Paul.
something? Sorry.
No, go ahead, Jen. I'll go right after you.
Just real quick, just something to think about. So, how does AMC retail investors protect ourselves from blatant shorting, right? So I think the answer is we push the needle forward, but positively and with caution. If AA or the SEC doesn't want to protect us, then it's up to us retail to protect ourselves. So I don't know. I guess the answer here is it's pretty clear in that, is AIM, when AMC gets listed on the blockchain and everything, and eventually moving our shares to BSTX or, whatever alternate blockchain exchange there is.
Yeah, sure. Don't forget too, Friday at 2 p.m. I'm actually hosting a call with Mark, and we're supposed to have Colin Porter and Bill Fleckenstein show up to the call also to talk about T0 from start to finish, ABCs to the more advanced stuff, and then some BSTX talk. So you guys, this is going to be like the one-stop T0 shop to get rid of all this shit FUD that's been spread about it by these ass clowns like David and Marine and these other groups who don't even know the first thing about market. All they do is every day is buy and hold, buy and hold. This is going to be the T0 space call with Mark, who just popped into the call, actually. So please make sure you join.
I just pinned that to this call. So if you guys want to check it out, and be sure to set your reminder, I will also tweet that out too later on this afternoon.
Hey, why you had to call him out, man? He already left. Why you gotta do like that?
Yeah, he probably got a phone call immediately.
He's a Crow Boss left, man. Every time I see that Crow, I'll be like, Crow Boss is here, man.
I gotta fix his crow picture up for him, put some some shades on it or something. Polly.
All right, so this is what I wanted to say. So we all heard, hey, hedgies, first one to cover pays the least. Well, I'm going to say this. First one that squeezes makes the most, man. So let's pressure Adam to try to go for the STO or something. Because the first one that squeezes makes the most, in my opinion. That's it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, too, that, this whole crossover stock feud between GME and AMC is so fucking stupid, because all these shorts are all in the same positions, and when one squeezes, the rest are going to squeeze too. So you definitely want to be first. Yes, exactly, Paul. But the idea that, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, GME's the real play and AMC are just bullshit, and all that bullshit needs to
It is
stop. And I'm glad I haven't seen it as much because it's super annoying. Because if
so
GME
last year.
squeezes, AMC is going to squeeze too.
And the other way around. And I was only really, I'm half joking because there's no such thing as who squeezes first makes the most. There's absolutely no basis to that, but there is a basis for first to cover pays the least, for sure, for sure. But I just wanted to throw that out as for some fun.
Yeah, I totally get you, man. I get it. Justin.
Yeah, I was gonna say to your point about what people do with their money. It's like it's like I agree. I mean, there's already been people. I mean, look at the ape fund and how much money got poured into that. Between GameStop and AMC's $72 run. Whoever got money out. There were tons of people that put their money to good use and to good cause. So, I guess I agree. I look forward to seeing what people do with their, money and all the good that they'll do. Cause I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more good than I think people anticipate.
Oh, I think much, much good. I think you're going to see so many charities get bolstered. You're going to see new charities pop up. And I think you're just going to see apes just traveling about, man, just popping into different cities here and there going, hey, I'm going to help you out, man. I mean, I've already got 3 plans of what I want to do to help people out after this is done. And I can't freaking wait. I just absolutely can't wait. What's up, Life?
Yo, Spence, how are you? I just want to ask you guys something. Do we know why he moved the earning call earlier to the first and before the third?
I have
Um,
no why he did that.
I mean, it's not want to promote anybody here, but somebody on YouTube will say that the third something's going on, and then it was the fifth, right?
Say that again, Life. You're breaking up.
I was walking. Somebody in YouTube said that on the third something's supposed to going on, right? So
they're
yeah,
saying
and
the
that
third is when the 13F2 regulation goes into effect. That is the short selling reporting.
yes, correct. So I didn't come out and say he's gonna move it to the first, the earning call, and then come out with a 90%, and basically the number do not, add it up. So I don't know, man. It's also something always with this play. It cannot be a fucking natural play to just go through. It's always something.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Me and Swing were talking about that 13F2. So what'll happen is any institutions with $10 million or 2.5% shorted of a stock are going to have to report that short. I don't know when that takes effect exactly. Some YouTubers are saying the 3rd of March. But what I'm more concerned about is what is the penalty for not reporting? Because if it's $1 million or $5 million and you got a $10 million short position and you get a one-time fine, then it's worth paying the fine. And that's the problem with the SEC is all they are is a pay-to-play bribe house. So, but Life, if you hear any more about that, man, DM me, let me know because I'm really interested on that topic.
You got it.
Mark A. Mark, if you're there, man, you got to unmute. Which, guys, everybody that's come up to speak to, if I was not following you earlier, I'm following you now. I'm trying to get my follows up without Twitter suspending me for trying to follow too many people all at once.
Dude, they'll limit you. That happened to me actually a day or so ago. If you follow too many people.
All right. Well, I don't know, Mark, if you can get up here in the next 30 seconds, that'd be cool. I really didn't have, I wanted to get this out. I put a poll out. We've talked about it. I think the tiptoeing needs to stop. I think the idea that, we need to be careful because we're going to get in trouble and we don't want the company to run out of money because everybody's going to sell. And it's the same old garbage that we've talked about for over a year. If you guys want to sit and do the same thing over and over and over again and continue to just sit here and see AMC be fundamentally undervalued on its stock price, I'm not going to hate on you. I absolutely am not here for that. But what I'm saying is we own the company. We own the flow. It's time to get aggressive, take the gloves off. There's 2 or 3 different potential actions that can be taken by Adam Aron and the board of directors to take care of the shareholders for once. And like Swing said, the whole FUD based around, well, everybody's going to sell and it's going to crush the company and then everything's over. It's not going to happen. People are going to fly back into AMC just as quick as they left during the squeeze. The stock will stabilize. The SEC will do its rounds. The DOJ will do its rounds. They'll parade it all over TV. The markets will recover, and that'll be it. Squeezes have happened in the past. So, you guys keep doing what you need to do to make sure your position is exactly where it is and doing what you think is morally and responsibly correct for you. I'm going to continue to push this idea of a STO dividend, and that's pretty much all I had for today. So if anybody else wants to,
Can I say something before you end? I just want to say something to. I just want to say anybody who's listening to these calls that I don't know what you're going through, and but if anybody wants to share something, my DMs are always open and it will stay between us. But please don't feel you are alone. I mean, this community gave me a family that I'm very thankful for. And I recently lost somebody because sometimes people just say that this is the end. It's not the end. The end will be a lot better and a lot beautiful. So if anybody wants to talk about anything general in life, how you're going through, if you want somebody just to hear you out, my DMs are open and it will stay between us. I'm not like some YouTuber just go out and putting out people's personal business. You can trust me on that one. And I wish you all love and joy. I wish everybody to succeed. And I want to see everyone happy, man. I can't see people, and hopefully we are all in right direction, or sooner or later we will all succeed as long as we are making efforts.
Sugar, you're such a positive guy, man. I love listening to you. I know everyone said that a million times, but god dang, when I get on these calls, man, the way you talk, the encouragement you give, the unity you bring is just amazing. I appreciate you, man.
You
I
guys
appreciate Spence.
Jason, you guys are my
Jen.
family, man. You guys are my family. Everyone, whether it's I go to Gen 1's calls, Ape Radio. You guys are all my family, and I want my family to succeed all together. I want my family to be happy, and this is what you guys matter to me more than any YouTuber or anybody else. Because I am here, it's because all of you.
Thank you, Shug.
Yeah, Sugar, man, that's you. I love it when you come up because you've just detoxed my frustration for the day. I appreciate you guys listening to me rant. It's more about just trying to rekindle the message of the dividend to protect all of you, the shareholders. It's time for the SEC, Adam Aron, the DOJ to figure out how many AMC shares there are so we can get back to trying to fix the markets for a more fair investment platform in the future. It shouldn't even have to be talked about at this point. It's time to be adults, and it's time to let everybody know what AMC really is. So,
hey Spence, before you go, without spoiling it for anybody, can you say you were jacked about Batman, or
I will tell you with Batman, I was completely entertained the whole time and mesmerized. It was extremely suspenseful. It had all the fan service, and it was just different. It is not like any other Batman movie you've seen. It's I wouldn't take kids under 11 to it. I'll say that. It's pretty wild.
But it's good, right?
Nice.
It's like
because we're going to be
brought
weekend.
it's like they brought the 90s kind of grunge movie style back.
Batman's
And
always been a little dark too, so you got to keep that in mind.
I'd say this is the darkest one.
Nice.
Really?
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Yeah, they really get down to the root of. I don't even want to say anymore. Guys, go freaking see it. The crowd reaction at the end was a standing ovation. So.
Well, I can't wait to see it this weekend with my husband. So, and I can't wait to get that NFT too. Actually, did you get an email right away, or have you gotten the email yet, Spence?
I have not, and unfortunately, they didn't have the comic books at my theater for some reason either. So,
Spence, me neither. So they don't got me the comic books. I saw it yesterday, and you did a really good point about it. The dark side of it. It's really nice.
Which, the movie was worth the money. I'm not upset about the comic. I would have liked to get it because they did say you're going to get a comic book when you go to the movies. Yeah. So I'm curious. I'm going to write AMC about it and ask. So
let me know, because also they said they have half of the order, so they only give it half of the people books. So I didn't get neither one there.
Oh, it's probably the bigger theaters then.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm also gonna send an email to see.
That was the only promotional thing with the IMAX. Is that correct? The comic book, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Jen, I'm going to send you a DM a little bit later. I want to ask you a few questions about the NFTs and stuff that they're giving out.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, guys. I got a Rizzo. Everybody, thank you for coming. This has been great. I'm still bullish, and if anybody tries to be like, "Oh, Spence is on there attacking the CEO and he sold," obviously untrue. So, thanks for coming.